Judge has rebuked Rudy Giuliani over his defamatory comments he made about Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, the Georgia election workers. He made them during the defamation charges trial after. Public.
You okay?
No, very tired. He, in a filing, he admitted that he made things up. Remember that?
Yes.
He admitted that he lied.
Wrote it down.
Put it in a filing
Yes.
under penalty of
It's in
perjury.
writing.
Signed it. It's in writing.
He did it.
However, and he's already been found liable.
I heard this on the way over.
However, on the steps outside, the judge has now been quite angry at his attorney about comments that Rudy made a day earlier to reporters about the two women who he's in a trial about defaming.
He said, he came out and said, I did not lie. It happened.
He has
Everything I
now
was
said
true."
that, and they were engaged in changing votes. A reporter responded, there is no proof of this allegation. Giuliani said, oh, you're damn right there is. Stay tuned. They always want you to stay tuned.
And this is after
It's coming. The stuff
Same
that,
thing.
You mean the stuff that could stop you from being charged with $40 million in damages? You're holding that off?
Yeah,
you
you're
don't
gonna
want to
keep that, yeah.
submit that to the
I
trial?
don't play all your cards. It's only costing me $40 million. I'm not playing all my cards.
So when did he lie? So which one was the lie? Because did he perjure himself before?
Well,
prior?
the judge,
Yeah, exactly.
the judge basically said, the judge basically told him, dude, this is another charge. It's the same thing with Trump, and the rape thing. This is, you said it again.
Yes,
it's another.
The judge told him that. The judge said to the attorney, because Giuliani wasn't there, that his statements were a clear departure from the tone that the attorney struck Monday when he delivered his opening statements for the trial. How do you reconcile your statements in court with his statement yesterday after court that they engaged in criminal conduct? The lawyer said, I cannot control everything he does, Your Honor.
you do know, you know what they need outside of the court, wherever courtroom Trump or Giuliani or some of these clowns are. There's got to be like a wall that the lawyers just go banging their heads against for a while.
Yeah.
Hold on, I need a minute. Bam, bam. Okay,
It's
let's
just a
go.
wall of marks.
Yeah. It's just bloody.
The judge said it's obviously unfair if he keeps making statements out there and not on the stand where they could cross-examine him. And that it does seem like there may be another defamation charge.
America has always been held up as, rule of law, all men are equal. And you really get in the last, I guess that's all through history, but man, it's really evident that if you have money and power, you can get away with shit all day long.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty crazy to me. This guy flat out lying. He's ruined these women's lives, ruined their lives.
Yeah, it's not like there's no damages, right? They've been getting death threats.
Well,
Yes.
it's going to be between 15
People
and $40
outside
million.
their house.
But also, how do you get, if Rudy's supposedly broke, so how do you get money out of, it doesn't matter.
He's got that
what
apartment still in New York.
Oh, right. It makes me, the older I get, I get so funny. I used to think George Carlin got to the place where he was too grumpy. He was too negative. And there's a couple of specials. I was like, come on, man, you sound like a grumpy old man. And as I become a grumpy old man, I really get it. I'm really like, the system's fucked. If you have money and power, you win.
Everybody's a grumpy old man now.
The Supreme Court.
We got a whole generation, Gen Z is a whole.
The Supreme Court has now ordered New York's congressional districts to be drawn. This is another win for Democrats, just like we had in Alabama.
It's not even a win. It's
4
just
to
fair.
3 vote.
It's just fair.
Yeah.
Here's what
There's
people
still 3 dissenting.
So people, if you guys don't know what gerrymandering is basically the states got to do their own districts. So let's say you had a majority Republican state house. What they would do is they would go in and they would pie off. They would go through neighborhoods and just get the Republicans. So that congressional district was going to always get elected Republican. They didn't just square it off and go, all right, let's see what happens.
Well, the way they drew that map led to Republicans flipping 4 seats in New York. That's why they have
right, because they snaked it through.
Yes.
They just
Yes.
Yeah. So it has to be changed back before this next election.
Yes, with people, the opinion is that should help us win control of the House again.
Clarence Thomas is still on the Supreme Court. This criminal hump is still on the Supreme Court. How is that? Alito hanging out with billionaires, taking them. How do we everything that we say we are about is so full of shit right now.
Yeah.
Like everything that America has said it's about, well, freedom, rule of law. We've got two guys on the Supreme Court, Alito and Thomas, that are flat out in the pockets of billionaires who have testified, who have had cases in front of them after taking them on vacations, buying them a motorhome. The fuck is going on?
And you know what's
man?
even worse is
I'm gonna
that
start. You know, we're gonna start. I'm gonna start doing a car podcast. I don't want to do this.
I hear you, man.
I'm so frustrated.
you know it's the worst part about all this is that it seems to be growing exponentially.
Yeah,
because we keep having examples of people doing something heinous that in the past they would have been out of politics,
done
in an instant.
They would have seen themselves out.
Yeah.
They always
Yes.
did.
They used to. Yes, in my
Then their
lifetime.
sad wife stood next to him at the
Yep.
podium,
Yep.
looking at him with hatred and
I've
disgust.
let my constituents down,
I've
and
let
that's
my
not
wife
good.
down.
I'm
blah,
not
blah,
representative.
blah.
I'm
Yeah,
ashamed of.
No, I'm gonna see my way out.
Yep.
Exactly.
And now we have examples of the opposite. And now everybody feels like there's a freedom that you can just get. Like Rudy Giuliani was in a movie where he was clearly
yes.
Couldn't-
like
a
trying to-
15-year-old.
with a minor girl.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would have been-
That scene is.
The whole Republican Party would have been shut down
He had
because
to
of that act.
run in. I want to say Borat and Ali G.
To
Sacha
stop
Baron
it.
Cohen had to run in
Stop
and
it.
stop it
Yeah.
because
He
that
knew.
that
Yeah.
one clip of him on laying back on the bed with his hand going down his pants. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Our democracy is at stake, and that's why we have to keep doing this podcast. Speaking of stake, this episode.
Holy shit! Wait, that was awesome. I knew it was coming.